Hi, welcome to your YouTube channel. My name's Mark Bajerski, and for the past 12 years I've been a pure energy healer, and I've really enjoyed my journey. But before the journey, I was many things, but one of the things I was an auctioneer. Somebody who got up and had a laugh, slightly a different auctioneer than most. The whole crowd, we just used to laugh all night, and it was more of an entertainment auction house than actually a real auction house. But yeah, it was fun. I had a message this afternoon, and it was about a lady who's really deeply into the spiritual side of things, the work, and she could feel that there's a pull towards the right direction, which is becoming very common at the moment. It's called the awakening. And people are realising that they're stuck in a situation which is either a bad job, or they just feel lost or whatever, and they just don't want to be in that situation which society or the system holds us in or keeps us frozen. Deliberately, by the way. And we're starting to recognise that. And this beautiful lady said, to the words of, I really love the path, I want to learn more, I want to do more, but funding, I can't do it because of money, because I'm always getting debt, and I have to work 12 or 14 hours a day, so I can't move forward. And this is quite a common message, and the reason why is because if you think about it, the system makes it that way. You see, bills have to be paid, which means that you have to work. So it takes you away from the true aspect of life, of why we're here. So the system is geared up purposely to keep you frozen or keep you suppressed, because it doesn't want you to think for yourself. It doesn't want you to become spiritual, because then you become dangerous, which means the truth is that you break away, like I did. I broke away from the system, and the system doesn't like that, because the system can't function without you in it. So when you go to work like a good girl or a good boy, you pay your taxes, which means it feeds the system, and everything that you do feeds the system. So if you try and break away from the system, you become very dangerous, and the system doesn't like that at all. So yeah, the system has been going on for a long time, and that's how it is. You want me to answer that question for you. I think I don't do my job very well if you need to ask me that question. You need to look at yourself and ask why you've had to ask me that question. Okay? It isn't me who can give you an answer to that. How on earth can I answer that for you? Only you have the power to change your life. Bills will always be there. They will always come in. That's what it is. That's how the system works until you break free from it. And that's something else. You see, what I did in my personal journey was I sold everything in England. We sold the house, we sold everything on eBay, and we got in a transit van and drove to a mountain with a few €1,000s in our pocket and not knowing what we were going to do. Would you do that? Everybody, and I mean everybody, has their own personal journey. And I was 38 years old, and if you would have asked me at 37, would I have done that? I'd have said you were crazy. So I can't tell you what to do. It's just absolutely wrong of anybody who shares messages, who wants to help with your life and for you to improve. Only you can answer that. Only you can break free from that. And you will always be asking me the same question if that of bills and work is more important. If it isn't, then you throw it all away like I did. So I gave the businesses away, and it didn't matter. I paid all my debt off and then drove to another country that I wanted peace, and I wanted to find myself. And I was blessed enough to be able to come here, and everything, as it does, works out in the end. But I'm not telling you to give up work and not pay your bills. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm here to do today is to encourage you to think and to feel. Are you going to look back on your life when you're 70 or 80 and say, actually, I allowed the system to take control of my life? Or are you going to look back and say, I took control of my life and made a decision what I wanted to do? So ultimately it's up to you. I can't give you any encouragement, and I can't say whether it's going to work out or not. All I can say is, if you've asked me that question, then you must know that inside your heart is the answer. And you wouldn't have even asked that question if you know that where you are and what you're doing right now, we're working 12 hours a day, that it doesn't feel right and it's not the spiritual path. Then follow that, listen to that. And I often say to people, there are two ways of moving forward. One is you just take that massive leap of faith. And the other one is to do it very, very carefully, where you look towards what you would really want as an end result and you work towards that. So what you would do is, if you felt that where you live isn't the right place, you would be first of all looking at maybe going on holiday a few times in a year, or hopping over on a cheap flight somewhere and just checking out somewhere where it's the sun like we did, and it felt nice, and this is the place where we'd like to live. And then maybe checking out to see if there's anywhere that may employ you, so you get the scales right, so you don't feel the fear, because there's no point moving if you don't have that confidence. If you move over to another country or just stop your work completely and fear attaches to you, then that's as bad as staying where you are. I just wouldn't recommend that. For me, it was there wasn't even a choice. I just knew I couldn't stay in England anymore, and I knew I'd done my work there. I knew that was it. I needed to move forward from England. If I was to move in the direction of to find out who I am, and to let go of the pain and suffering that I was in, there was just no choice. And as well, I've got to be honest, I haven't got the closest of families, so that was easy as well. If you're moving away from family that you love and care for, then that's going to be a challenging thing. So you've always got to think about certain things as well. You've got to, you've got to use your intuition, So on a final note on this subject, I would say that if you are feeling that life feels like a trap and you want to move towards the spiritual path, I think you're already on that, and I think you're already feeling that, and that's, I always say, is a beautiful thing, because most people never even recognize it. So at least you're recognizing it. That's a good start. So I would suggest that you are definitely on your spiritual journey, and if you are feeling the pull towards learning more about how to find your inner peace, how to be happy, how to give and share, how to ultimately feel wonderful every day, and as many days as you can feel this inner joy, that spirituality, then you're heading in the right direction for sure. I would leave you on a final note, which is you are completely where you're meant to be, and where you're going to be taken to is exactly where you're going. That I have no doubt about. Spirit loves us all, and they help us, and they gently whisper to us in the way that we say, there's something not right. Yeah, that's the spirit world whispering to you, telling you and helping you along a journey. That's what they do. And it all comes from the heart, which is all your intuition, which is the connection to the spirit world. It's very simple. And then you follow that and you work towards a happy ending, and that's it, I think. And you will have an happy ending. We always do, all of us. Once we hit that awakening, and once we start to realise that out there is all wrong, then we start to plan for a beautiful future, and we walk the footsteps of spirituality and a happier life. My life now is incredible. If you were to ask me, you know, would you do it again? I would do it 1,000 times over. And would I recommend it to anybody? I would recommend it to everybody. But that doesn't mean that your journey is going to be the same as mine. So I would suggest that you should follow your heart, basically, and don't do something that you're worried about or you're fearful. So yeah, I do wish you an amazing journey, guys. And if you are stuck in work and you don't particularly like what you're doing, then just take a small step, and that is think about what you would really love to do in your life that wouldn't feel like work, but yet you still get paid for it. Have a think about that. If you do 100 jobs and none of them are right, then at least you know the 100 jobs weren't for you. I did 100 jobs and I knew none of them were for me until I hit the right one. So rather than, you know, think about it, why not just try it? Balance is always very important. Balance in life is so important. And we are thrown side to side often. And normally that's because of the system. It's not because of you. It's not because of your spiritual path and journey. That's always there. But the darkness in the system that tries to pull you down and keeps you frozen and steals your light and does not want you to actually walk a spiritual path. Once you realize that, then you know what you need to conquer. And that's it, really. So have a great day, guys. I hope this video serves you well. And thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. And have a great day, guys. And speak to you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care. Love you all. You're amazing. Don't forget that.